It is a truth universally acknowledged that every now and again a situation arises that defies explanation. And so it was with the ascension of the 3rd Street Saints. When the Saints made their presence known to the world in 2006, they were decried for being pretenders to the throne. The people were confused. Were the Saints sociopathic killing machines hell-bent on destruction? Or puckish rogues living a life of mirth and whimsy? The Saints needed clarity of purpose, and so the course was set. More fun, less mercy killing. This simple choice revitalized the Saints, transforming them from a degenerate street gang into beloved pop culture icons. But even then, the Saints were not satisfied. For it's one thing to be revered as a hero, it is another to be a hero. And that, my friends, is where our journey begins.
I'm not really sure there are words for this game. I mean, I can describe it to you, and the description will sound like complete gibberish. But, well, I guess we'll try it anyway, shall we? Saints Row 4 is, conveniently, the 4th game in the Saints Row franchise from developer Volition and publisher Deep Silver. As a brief history, Saints Row 1 was a pretty generic GTA clone, Saints Row 2 was a much more interesting GTA clone with great personality, and Saints Row 3 was a more colorful GTA parody that fully embraced the exaggerated silliness that gave number 2 its signature style. Saints Row 4, however, is what happens when a developer looks at a franchise that is built entirely around one-upping the previous entry and goes, well, all the way to 11 this time then. Saints Row 4 sees you once again taking control of the boss of the 3rd Street Saints gang-turned-international fashion brand, and then throws you into a whirlwind journey as you thwart a global terrorist threat, detonate a nuke in midair, get elected President of the United States, get abducted by aliens, escape said aliens, and then inadvertently become responsible for the destruction of Earth. That's about the first 30 minutes of the game, depending on how long you spend in the frankly awesome character creator. I mean, why wouldn't you want metallic blue skin if you could have it? There's no denying the punch that Grand Theft Auto packs when it comes to maintaining an audience, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Rockstar will never be brave enough to release one of their signature open-world shooters with anywhere near the levels of insanity of Saints Row 4. And that's probably a good thing. I'm not sure the world deserves more games like this. As a massive open-world game, Saints Row 4 doesn't really do any one particular thing extremely well in terms of its game mechanics. The shooting is fine, the driving is fine, the activities are fine, etc. The addition of superpowers is actually really great though, and between the super speed, super jumps, and being able to run up walls, there's some really fun traversal that... Yeah, I said superpowers, can we... No, you're right. It doesn't make any sense. And in the end, that is what Saints Row 4 does really well, is just be itself. It's a bizarre, violent, open-world action game that has no qualms about being absolutely the most insane combination of video game tropes and plotlines you can imagine. It is, quite literally, bonkers. Bonkers and amazing. There are a lot of great games out there that are laden with personality, but most of them are also good at something else. Atmospheric art style, really well-developed story characters, excellent combat mechanics, an involved online community, something. Anything. Saints Row 4 is the first game I've come across personally that feels great and is a blast to play based only on the strength of its weirdness. Nothing about the way this game plays, nor the story it's telling, will blow you away. It's not even overtly vulgar or shockingly violent. In comparison to GTA 5, it's barely even moderately vulgar and violent. It still earns that ESRB or PEGI rating on the box, don't get me wrong, but nothing about this game will shock you aside from the constant, overt weirdness of the thing. It takes a bit of a special person to really get behind something like that as the main selling point of a form of entertainment, but you know what? It hooked me. If you're okay with a mature title, I would 100% recommend this game. It'll make you go, "What?" about every 5 minutes, and believe it or not, that's pretty fantastic. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go look into stainless steel skin transplants in preparation for my presidential campaign based around my key platforms of punching congressmen and having fallen through the ceiling of the Oval Office. It's basically a sure thing.